Hi, my name is Krissie Bogner. I have been a resident of Costa Mesa for about 5.5 years. I was actually a parks commissioner for a couple of years, and I had become active in the community because of a concern about homelessness in my community. But what I learned from all of that is that we don't really have a homeless issue. What we do have is a huge health issue. I've been a high school health educator for about 23 years. I also run a health coaching business where I partner with other people to strive to be healthier. I became passionate about health when I was a senior in high school. I had found out I have a rare hereditary endocrine disorder. It's called MEN1 syndrome. And my dad actually had that and passed away from it when I was 12 years old. I had also lost all of my grandparents by the time I was 15 to different health issues. My grandpa had lung cancer from smoking. My grandma had heart disease and diabetes. My other grandma had several health issues. And then my mom passed away from smoking-related atherosclerosis when I was 21. So I decided to strive to create the healthiest life I could and to help others do the same. And that's when I decided to become a health teacher, so that I could inspire young people to strive for lifelong health. But over the last several years, I've become really frustrated with our educational system. I mean, beginning in kindergarten, they already have kids talking about what college they want to go to. Some teachers literally have students do college projects in elementary school where they don't even know what that really means. Then there's the focus on testing. It's not enough to just be a good student anymore. You have to be an honors or AP student. And the fallacy that's perpetuated is that if you don't take these honors and AP classes, you won't be able to get in whatever that good college is. And then those students are told early on, in high school anyways, in order to get into that good college, whatever that might be, you need to fulfill what are called the A through G requirements. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those requirements. And of course, I'm an advocate for higher education. I have a master's degree myself. But what concerns me is that health and physical education in many districts and across the country have been swept aside or eliminated altogether in favor of academic classes. I say academic classes because we mean like the core classes. I even have friends and family members and parents that message me and email me asking me if they know how their child can get health out of the way because it messes up their schedule somehow. And of course, I'm a little bit protective and defensive of our health courses because, well, it's about health, you know? What can be more important than that? So here we are. We're in the middle of this pandemic when health is the #1 focus. And what are we finding out? We are finding out that a high percentage of people who are the most severely affected have obesity-related conditions. Prior to the pandemic, we were already in the middle of an obesity epidemic and an opioid epidemic and a mental emotional health crisis. People with a complete lack of spirituality and empathy. We have a whole generation of people with questionable social skills. And of course, we do have environmental issues as well. All of those are components of health. And they are important and unfortunately largely avoided in many schools in favor of more what would be considered academic courses. Some say that it's the parents' job to teach their kids about health issues. But you'd be surprised how many kids in school are shocked when they find out you can live your whole life without dairy. You know, what? We don't ever have to have a drop of milk and we'll be fine? Yeah, you ask, wait, how do we get calcium without milk? Believe me, I bet I have adults watching right now that still don't know you don't need milk. But as I digress, my point is health education is so important, and unfortunately it has become painfully clear in recent months how mentally and emotionally fragile many of us are. Anxiety, panic, depression, and people with other mental health issues have been struggling greatly in what's going on right now. So my purpose in talking to the community today is to really urge you to, if you're a parent or a family member, to encourage your family members to be as healthy as they can be. Push for health education in schools as early as possible. If kids are exposed to health education from kindergarten on, then we can build on those skills. And family members can reinforce those skills at home. I mean, face it, most of us grow up in our homes and we perpetuate unhealthy lifestyles in one way or another because we learned those skills at home. You know, this is not a judgment, it just is what it is. And then if we have schools that don't have the room in their curriculum to teach that health education, or maybe in high school they're only required to have 2 weeks of health, whatever those topics might be, it's a wonder, right, why we have all of these epidemics going on pre-pandemic. So I just urge you to be that health advocate for yourself and for your family, and please get involved in your schools and help schools try to get those things into their curriculum early and continue that through high school and make it a priority. Don't try to get your kids out of health class and out of PE because they need to take AP whatever. And again, not saying that those things aren't important, but we have realized how important health is, especially right now. So thank you very much for having me, and stay healthy, Costa Mesa.